Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga and meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur with many decades of experience. I think this is one of the few rare qualities, that differentiates me from most of the people. In that, I've got over close on to 5 decades of, experience in this field. And also, I'm someone who's passionate about this field. I didn't enter this field to make it my career or my source of income. And now it's my full time occupation. In addition to my other, business ventures, which I've made it a part-time venture. With the advent of COVID, when we were in lockdown for 2 years, and once I entered into my 50s, I decided that time was passing me by and I've reached middle age by reaching 50. I want to change direction. I focus too much on building businesses and making money and, just money, and enjoying my life and enjoying, the luxuries of money, that comes with money. And I wanted to focus on that which was a passion all my life, right? And that's how I focused on, energy healing, yoga, and meditation as a full time. Because I said now I want to make it my full time career and leave my other pursuits as part time, right? Because I don't want to end my life and not having, spread the massive benefits that I experienced in my life from my practice of this, and also assisting people, and not, sharing this to the world at large as a contribution, as my contribution, from my experience. I believe there is something unique and something value added that people could, learn from it. Not necessarily that I'm some master or major, influencer or some major benefit, but the experience is important, to get a perspective of someone with experience. And maybe it's a question that you have, or maybe it's a question you never thought of, that my words, will try to, enlighten you into or inspire you into. So the topic I want to talk about today is one of the biggest problems that I find in my experience of people in general, in the field of yoga and meditation, right? Let's forget energy healing, because energy healing is a evolution from the practice of yoga and meditation, or Tai Chi, right? Practice of yoga and practice of Tai Chi, or the martial arts, brings about certain discipline in your physical body that brings a balance of your energies, that awakens the capacity for you to be able to control that energy. And the best control is when you can even transfer it. You can increase it, and then you can transfer it to someone who's ill and use it positively to heal that person. So that is the amazing way in which that I utilize that energy. And instead of trying to develop psychic powers and Harry Houdini and in those things, I decided to use it in a way that can be useful to others, and also teaching. So the biggest problem I notice is that people are not interested in yoga or meditation. When you mention the word yoga, you know, um, I had the opportunity of working in a hostel. That's part of the hotel industry, but much better than a hotel, because a hostel is far more affordable than a hotel. So there's a huge volume of people, especially in an international environment, where you're seeing people from all walks of life and from all countries at a much greater volume than in a hotel, because it's that much more affordable. So my interest was to be able to meet more and more people from different parts of the world and make friends, and be able to discuss and test, teaching methodologies, what works better, which yoga strategies will work better, for the masses at large. So I had a huge flow of people, flowing through, that I was able to teach, yoga and refine my lessons from learning from people who never knew or understood what is yoga and meditation. So the biggest problem I found was that possibly more than 90% of people totally not interested in the word yoga. They can't, you say yoga, it goes in from one year and the other year, and it's as if I'm disturbing their tranquility, or I'm infringing in the privacy of thoughts, or infringing onto trying to impose something, or trying to sell something to them. And I've always taught yoga and meditation for free, for most of my life, and at that time was teaching it for free as well and inviting them for free lessons, but they didn't take advantage of it. And whoever came to my lessons, right? So as I'm saying, over 90%, possibly over 90%, or even 99% is not interested in attending class. So let's give you an average, right? So let's say there was an average of around 60 people in that, hostel on a daily basis, and an average of 20 to 30 new people checking in and checking out on a daily basis, right? So, and a total of 6. So let's say 20 to 30 new people, right? Every day. Let's say 30 people every day. So that's 210 people a week, right? So about 1,000 people a month, right? I'm going through 1,000 people a month. In a month, I was lucky to have 5 students in a month, right? So this is less than 1%, right? Over 99% of people said, it's the first time I'm exploring that figure, right? Most was 10 in a month, most, right? In a 3-year period, of me teaching yoga and meditation in the, in the hostel environment, and, testing it on this thing. So this is the biggest problem, is they never opened up their mind to the possibility. The fact that you're watching this video, so when someone sits and asks me a question about, tell me something about yoga, I said, the fact that you're asking me that question, the fact that that word yoga is enunciated from your mouth, you are in the top 1% in the evolution of society, because you have to be on a higher level of evolution, intellectually, as well as developmentally, right? From a maturity perspective, that you are now ready for a higher pursuit of evolving and awakening the higher capacities and potentialities of your mind and your brain, to say the least, if not also improve and maximize the potential of your body in terms of its youthfulness and health, right? So, but more importantly, I would say evolving yourself psychologically and intellectually. This is, I would say, although yes, there is health benefits, but a greater, exponentially more powerful development is your psychological and intellectual capacity. And the biggest problem is people are failing to even to try it once. Try it one lesson, right? I have a free 5-minute yoga and meditation program on my website, yogawellness786.com. To try it once in the comfort of your bed for just 5 minutes and see how it makes you feel, right? Chances are that you're going to feel a subtle calmness descending on you, or descended on you after just that 5 minutes. Imagine if you practice this regularly, wouldn't that calmness, or the togetherness and centeredness, start enveloping and permeating the balance of your body? And how amazing would that be if you can live your life in a state of alpha or mindfulness, where you're together, you're centered. When a stress comes, you can better manage the stress. This is the biggest problem. People not opening the mind to this ancient science that has been around for thousands of years and proven scientifically. Now we're living in a scientific community with over 50,000 scientific experiments giving the positive benefits of yoga and meditation practice, especially the mindfulness practice, and the yoga exercise differentiates itself from the other exercise, that it is the only series of exercises that targets the toning of your internal organ and the toning of the rhythm, your biorhythms, your heart rate, your breathing, your peristaltic movement, and your vagus nerve. It's the only exercise system on the planet. Nothing else is able to enhance the functionality and improve the effectiveness of your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve, the main nerve that controls your involuntary actions, things that, like your heart rate. When you're sleeping, you don't have to focus your breathing. You don't forget to breathe, right? You're breathing naturally. Your heart is beating unconsciously, whether you don't have to consciously, there's a lot of unconscious activities, and your digestion is acting unconsciously. You are removing your physiological, your metabolic processes, oxygenation, energy release, all these things, your brain activities and so forth is happening, unconsciously. Synaptic, your healing processes, all this is taken care of, by your vagus nerve. Yoga practices helping with that. So this is how scientifically, dramatically, positively that yoga and meditation, mindfulness practice can help you, right? So the biggest problem, try it once, and you are so rare, less than 1%, right, of the population that's watching this video, right? So I would encourage you, you are human, you know a lot of people, right? There are at least 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people on average, or 2,000 people that you possibly know or come across. Encourage people to at least view this channel of mine, right? Or this thing, because you never know whose life you may change, right? And try it yourself, and try it consistently. My opinion, right? From decades, close to 5 decades of practice, right? 47 years of practice, right? I'm practicing from 1977, right? Consistently, right? And I have been teaching this now. At the time of making this video, it's 2025. I'm teaching from 1981 as a yoga meditation teacher. Had students worldwide, thousands and thousands of students that I came across, right? Consistently, they all felt lighter in the body. They all felt more centered. They all felt, slightly more energy. They all felt calmer, in the mind. They all felt more mindful. They all felt amazing. They all felt positive, right? On the example of positive, I've got so many examples having taught people from over 100 countries and thousands of students, right? I had really a gift and fortune to meet people in so many countries, and having myself been having the opportunity to teach them, I count myself, blessed, and I count my blessings for that, and I'm thankful for that blessing as well daily. And the opportunity to reach and to be able to make this video, I thank myself for that blessing as well. So there was this one student, he was from South America, Colombia, I think, either Colombia or Brazil, in that part of the world. And he decided to come, or to travel, to take himself, because he was feeling very depressed, and he had voices in his head that was telling him to commit suicide, right? That's how bad he was, in a state of anxiety and depression. And I was doing this free yoga meditation training, and he was in this hostel, and we used to do it in the open, on the rooftop, right? Because we want to be connected with nature. It's better to do it in the open, right? And he was sitting and just enjoying the scenery from there to calm his mind, because he came on vacation to get out of this depression, and he was struggling with it. And there was another student who was from Greece, right? A Greek student, was very passionate about yoga. He said, "Oh, brother, come join us. Just join us. It's free. It's nothing." And he didn't want to perform the yoga exercises, but he said, "Okay," because I always ended the yoga practice with about five minutes of yoga meditation practice, right? And when we're sitting, he said, "Okay, just bring your chair and meditate with us. Just do, just turn around and just meditate." And he sat and he just did the meditation part, and he used to observe us, practicing the yoga. And he came, and one day he said hello, and he passed some money into my hand. So what's this for? He said, no, I just want to thank you so much, because I've been trying to get rid of this depression in me. There was a voice in me that was telling me to like kill myself, kill myself. And from the first day that I just sat for that few minutes in meditation, that voice stopped, and I was surprised. And it's now a few days later, it's not there anymore. And I'm really thankful that this voice stopped. And just by that few minutes, he just sat for about 2 or 3 minutes, right? That last 5 minutes max, right? All he practiced, with us. And he connected with me about several months, if not almost a year later, about 6 to 12 months later, just to say, no, hi, that he's still fine. And he went to psychologists, and he went to spiritual healers and so forth, felt that he was being possessed and so forth. But sometimes you go to such a low level in your mind can play tricks on you, right? The mind is a fantastic creation, right? And the practice of making your mind healthy is what yoga meditation is. This is the biggest problem I find with people. They're failing to even explore this such an amazing field that is so powerful, and it's free, right? I think this is why, we should, I see now these days there's a lot of yoga classes, for that's charging a nominal fee, not charging high amounts of money, mind you. In London, there is, I know, a library that charges £3.50, for a weekly session, yoga lesson, in a public library in the south of London, near to Heathrow Airport. So if you want to search that, you can Google it and see where there's a yoga class for £3.50. And also, download my free 5-minute yoga and meditation program, right? So no need to go to any classes, no need to spend an hour or buy any. This you can practice in the comfort of your bed. Download it and encourage more people to download it and experience it, and start delving into the subject matter that can dramatically improve the quality and the quantity, both quality and longevity of your life, right? Also financially, self-satisfaction, right? And ability to deal with stresses, improve your capacity to move on in your life, because problems going to come and problems going to go. You are on this planet. Welcome to being alive. You're going to always be confronted with problems, and if you think the problem is a big problem, wait until your next problem is going to be far worse than your current problem. Always the next problem is worse and more challenging, right? So you're going to confront them and meet them with a smile, so to speak. How amazing is that life? This is the biggest problem I find with people failing to open the mind to this field and attaching religion, and one's mind's one-sidedness to it. Consider it from a purely scientific and benefit perspective. Why wouldn't you adopt a practice that's beneficial for you? We're not asking you, yes, it's a very wide practice. There is supernatural sides to it. There is, worship sides to it, and, mantras and tantras. And don't go into all that. Stick to the scientific parts of it that's beneficial for you. The mindfulness and the physical posture of, the practice of the postures, and some proven breathwork formulas, right? And some recommendations in your nutrition, right? Stick to that which is going to be helpful for you dramatically. So don't deny the helpfulness side, because why don't you like to have a better quality of life? Why not, right? Everyone I see, when I look at most of, and of course I'm blind now, so I can't see the faces, but I hear the tone of voice. They're all frustrated and stressed out and fussy and angry and moody and depressed, and oh my God, and they always listen to me. I'm always energetic and healthy and, excited and happy and not depressed. And the type of problems, I'm now blind just 2 years, and I'm being independent in the entire 2 years. right? I never go to family to take care of me, and I never, and I'm not depressed and crying. Okay, oh, I'm blind now and I'm handicapped. And no, no, I took it in my stride. What can I do? All I can do is try to find ways and treatments, to improve or delay or stop or reverse my condition, which I'm doing, right? And further than that, I can't go crazy. There's other aspects to my life. I still need to create videos like this. To create this video, this series of videos that I'm creating right now, it took me 3 years of struggle, because I didn't just lose my eyesight, I was losing my eyesight before that, right? For a period that I couldn't just create videos. And I had massive problems in creating these videos. It took 3 years before, and it is the advent of technology like AI that gave me the strategies and how to use AI to my benefit. And I'm creating this all on my own, right? To your advantage and benefit, so that I'm bringing this experience and this benefit to you. And also over 4 decades, close to 5 decades of experience, the benefit of that I'm bringing to you. Uh, and purely for your benefit, right? There's nothing, no benefit to me if you watch these videos and get encouraged and go and hook up with your local, yoga school, right? That's available to practice. And there's a lot of yoga teachers, and many of them are a-religious. They don't attach religion to it, right? And they don't, so you can, benefit from it. So this is the biggest problem that I found, in people in general. They such a fraction of a percentage is even opening the mind to the possibility of this field of yoga, and meditation and wellness, that can have such a massive impact, positive impact in your life. So please feel free, and please visit my website yogawellness786.com for more resources and information about this field on yoga, meditation, wellness, energy healing, and nutrition, and blogs on my modern perspectives and thoughts on trending topics in the media today, which may help you a lot, in benefiting from those topics and applying them to your day-to-day life and quality of your life, and also to be able to connect with me. So take care always. Take care of yourself.